the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
First carry for Rashad White.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
This defense for the Steelers, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
McCarthy now on first down.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
From the 44-yard line, here's a second down and 6. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. And he's going to go down again. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, It takes us to a 4th down.
They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 12 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there. But they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
Now it's Griffin. Catch made right side by Wilson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Pittsburgh first. He had his eyes on 200 yards last week, earned him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And he was really, really good. Fun to watch back in tape with you.
It was fun to watch, wasn't it? He's trying to have the same type of a game in this one. But what was fun watching was how he read the defense. No matter what they presented, he had an answer for it, and that's why he was open during that game.
Well, that last run good enough to have him surpass for his career, get this, folks, 12,000 rushing yards.
And how about this? You're in shouting distance now of the top 10 all-time rushers in NFL history. And in short order now, you've got Thurman Thomas, Franco Harris, Marcus.
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown.
Jamison Williams.
His 21st touchdown of the season.
And the Steelers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
They start the drive with White. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You look at this Steeler defense.
And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down. But that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 18.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And out will come the offense as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Griffin.
They'll find Williams on the slant.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Harris running straight ahead. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Play action. Now Griffin.
He's got this to Pickens.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 6. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Griffin to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They hand this off to Harris. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. After 1
7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. They'll run with Gibbs. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Harris will score. Touchdown, Steelers. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To the air with McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Short completion, just 4 yards. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, they'll throw with McCarthy. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st.
Bottom line is that he is just something else as a runner, because there are not many QBs in this league who can rip off a game that big, and he did it with the defense giving him a little extra attention after he hit him on a run earlier this series.
The throw over the middle taken in. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They go with White on the counter, and the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On play action, McCarthy out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
their third sack of the ball game, second in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the second spot pretty soon. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Jamison Williams out onto the field as his guys take over on offense. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things, but take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped with this because when we sat down with him before the game and discussed his season, and you said to him, okay, I have a vision that you, similar to a pitcher, change up a lot of things, right? Different arm angles, different slots that a pitcher would do. You do that with your route running and all that. And I loved his response. He said, yeah, I do that. But one of his best friends is a world-ranked tennis player. And he talked about serves and how you change up, take pace off, do different things. And he incorporated that into his route running.
On second down, here's Griffin. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 14 yards that time for number 14.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now Griffin on second down. Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On the ground, it's Harris. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, Griffin. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 30 yards. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
On second down, Griffin escaping the pressure right. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On first down, McCarthy. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Now third down and 7. Here's McCarthy. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. McCarthy going to throw again. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. Pass complete to Addison. Fighting through, and he's got space. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Now McCarthy. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Throwing again, McCarthy. That pass taken in by Addison. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw McCarthy. To Jefferson on the slant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He's really starting to get up there towards 1,000. He's now at 997 career catches. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Back to throw again. Completes this to Addison out left. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's second down.
To the air again, McCarthy.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Back to throw. McCarthy. And the pressure gets to him again. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, and it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. Anthony Richardson with a touchdown pass. From there, we head over to the Windy City to check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field, and they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Justin Fields has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. The 49ers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports.
This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And he returns this to the 22.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 65 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Griffin's throw into the hands of Pickens.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Griffin now to throw on 3rd down. He gets this one to Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They'll go again with Gibbs. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They run with Harris. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Jahmyr Gibbs with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Now for the point after. And it's 21-3. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jordan Addison back out now as the Vikings offense set to take possession.
You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Opting to run again here with White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McCarthy. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd and 7. Griffin. He's up to the 20 as they'll finally stop him at the 23-yard line. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Here's Griffin. Completes this one to Pickens. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Griffin. Little pitch and catch caught by McDonald. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll run with Harris, and not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. A gain of 3, second down. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Out of the gun, Griffin. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they'll get this across midfield, but not nearly close to a first down as he stopped at the 48. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll get just a yard on the scramble in second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 9. Back to throw. McCarthy. This is White on the screen. Now he's free at the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A huge play there on the screen pass. 41 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the 4th is not going to be an easy task. But that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
No gain on the screen there at second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Addison will go in motion left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Going for it, here's McCarthy. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now they fake the jet sweep there and a run instead with Harris. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 57 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Griffin. Flush to his right. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion. And that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They're going for it. This is Harris. And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mitchell. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Slant route, and he's got Addison.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And they call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Looking to throw.
McCarthy, that one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively. It's second down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing on second down, McCarthy. This one brought in by Jefferson.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Well, now we watch everything with great anticipation because he just had his 999th reception. And yes, math majors, the next one, a big one, 1,000.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They'll look to throw again. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down.
Griffin. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
2nd and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Over the middle and complete to Addison.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Third and 4.
Back to throw.
McCarthy.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle, and it makes the score 21-10. That time a 6-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 4th down now after a loss of 2. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the big return had him fired up, but in the end the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
Kickoff concludes the ball game, partner, and one side a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough where that one possession down the stretch might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for the Steelers, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.